after the previous day's carrier strike on a Japanese task force bound for Tarawa. The enemy withdrew into the night, last seen heading north. With one battleship and cruiser still operational, Allied commanders prepared for an early morning landing. Meanwhile, with task forces X-Ray and Zebra transporting 8,000 Marines and vital supplies, the Allies pressed northwest, their target, Rabaul, for what promises to be the most brutal fighting of the campaign. But now, as dawn breaks across the Pacific, search planes lift off from Tarawa to locate the previous day's sighting. But what they find is a threat far greater than expected. Hello, welcome back to War on the Sea. It is day 103 of the campaign, June 9th, 1942. It is 2:31 in the morning, and we're picking up a little bit after last episode, same night. I wanted to go over a few things real quick, just to show you what's in motion. We have Task Force 2 and 3 down near Shortland. We're going to start making our way towards Rabaul, and we're going to pick off and whittle down some of their aircraft at Rabaul and the other bases. And as soon as it's reduced, then we'll bring in the transports to land at Rabaul. We have down at Tarawa, remember we had a question mark about the task force that we hit not too long ago, earlier the previous day in the afternoon. I moved down Task Force 10 to be right near Tarawa, just in case you never know. Here is Task Force Victor. We loaded it up with engineering, supplies, and some troops. They're going to make their way down to Guadalcanal. And I have Task Force 14 here, just hanging out in case we need. I'm going to send this one back up to Midway because Task Force Fox here is loaded up with some fuel. We got the rest of what little fuel we had at Midway. It's now gone. Loaded up on Task Force Fox, and they will be making their way down to Tarawa. And I think that's about all that's going on now. We're going to get to the morning and see what's up with that Japanese task force. I think I'll just go ahead and let this go. And then as soon as morning comes, we'll launch our aircraft and then see if we can find it. It'd be nice if we could find it like sitting out here somewhere and then go. Oh, shit. I think this is the task force that we just hit in the last episode. Task Force 10. Well, I don't know. I was going to go spot it, but if I do that, I'll lose it. I'm sure this is the same task force. 1 heavy cruiser, 3 light cruisers. Let's get Task Force 10 to go after it immediately. All right, we'll stop right about there. That should be close enough. Let's go to tactical. Let's finish off this task force. See, we should be really close to them. Where are they? Where are they? Oh my, we are right on top of them. What do we have in this task force? Light cruiser, destroyer, light cruiser, more transports. This is a different convoy, I think. Transports, oh yeah, heavy cruisers. All right, we'll have North Carolina go after the heavy cruisers first, and then we'll go after the others. We gotta watch out for torpedoes. Okay, battle is over, and that was something, wasn't it? We found a new Japanese task force just as it was heading into Tarawa, and I think we sank everything. We did lose one of our heavy cruisers, and that was the Australia. Unfortunately, it was sunk, but I think that was all we lost. Let's look at the report real quick. Yeah, we got the Australia was sunk. No damage on the others. San Francisco, minor damage. Astoria, moderate damage. And no other damage on the North Carolina. And we sunk every single ship. We earned 16 command points. Wow. But that was unexpected. I had no idea there was two. Well, I did actually, I think, in a previous episode, in one episode, a few episodes ago, I think there was a question about whether there were two convoys out in this area. Oh, I think we just answered that question. That one's gone. Let's see if we can find the other one. We're going to have to replace the Australia and probably send the Astoria in for repair, but holy crap, that was awesome. Let's leave the encounter. Excellent work again. 10 more ships sunk, and we will, well, let's see how bad actually the Astoria. Yeah, 11 compartments flooded. Let's go to tactical again. I want to see the Astoria's damage. Heavy damage, no flooding. Speed is a little low. I think we have some guns that are... Yeah, the bridge is at 67% integrity. Yeah, we should just send her in for repair. Let's do that. We also have enough command points to replace her. Let's see if there's any other heavy cruisers we can get. Oh yeah, there are several. We'll go ahead and get the Tuscaloosa. And as far as the Australia, I don't know if we have any other in the same class, the county class. I think we used them all. Yep, so I will see if I can find another heavy cruiser. We're not going to have any Australian heavy cruisers. Perhaps a British heavy cruiser. I don't know if we have another York class, though. We don't. So we might have to go with, well, let's see if we have any others, like, say... Well, we don't have any French or Dutch heavy cruisers either, so they're going to have to be American from here on out. All right, more enemy aircraft coming in from Rabaul. They look like bombers. Let's go ahead and launch some aircraft from Hornet. I believe we've lost 4 aircraft from Hornet, and Yorktown has lost several. I'm just going to launch 20 Wildcats. I think that'll be enough. I think these are probably underpowered. The previous day, we wiped out a lot of their bombers, so I don't anticipate a bunch of them here, so we'll just launch 20. And we'll meet them out a little bit in front of our task forces. Like right about there. And let's go tactical. See what we got. Our task force is still in the zone here. Oh my gosh. Can we go after these guys? Okay. All right, first wave down. There may be more. Who knows? There may not be. It depends on how much damage we did yesterday and how many aircraft they have left. We'll see. Let's go ahead and leave. Look at the report, I guess, real quick. I think there were 6. Yeah, 6 aircraft. We didn't lose anything. Let's go ahead and leave. And again, we will continue. More aircraft heading into the task forces. Let's bring out the Wildcats. Get them a little bit closer to them. I'd like to encounter them right there before they get to the task force. Go ahead and start. These are probably roofs or zeros. We'll see. What are these? These are zeros with bombs. And there are how many of them? 8. Shouldn't be a big deal. All right, another wave down. That was 8 aircraft, I believe. Let's look at the report. I don't think we lost anything again. Nope. All 8 down. Let's retreat. Doing well. We're going to keep driving towards Rabaul. All right, another wave coming in from Rabaul, or a nearby airfield. The Wildcats, I believe, are about ready to land. They are. These are Hornets. So let's launch from Yorktown this time. Launch aircraft, probably. Let's do 15. I honestly don't think we need more than that. None. Go for it. And bring them out about right here. All right, let's intercept them here. Let's go into tactical. And probably just a handful of bombers. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like, what do we got here? Some Emily's and some Nels. Looks like 4 aircraft maybe. All right, 4 more aircraft down. Not a problem. We will retreat again and take on whatever else comes in as we move towards Rabaul. One more group. These look like torpedo bombers. Let's go tactical right there. Hopefully they didn't pass us. I don't think they did. Where are they? They did pass us, of course. But fortunately, these are Mavis, and they're slow, and they're dead. All right, that's 9 more bombers down. I think we got them all. Let's look at the report. Yep, all down. No Wildcats lost. Let's retreat and keep going. All right, looks like one more encounter. These are probably roofs as we destroyed all of the zeros, but we'll take a look. Let's go tactical. We have 16 Wildcats up from Hornet. And, oh, what do we have? They look like they're right over our task force. Or no, where are they? Oh, here they are. Here they are. Ooh, there's a lot of them. 12 aircraft. Okay. All right, I don't think we're going to catch those. Those were actually zeros and not roofs. We got a few minor hits on Yorktown, I believe. Let's take a look at Yorktown. And I'm pretty sure they were just minor. I should probably have them stop before they collide into each other, but let's see. Yeah, just minor hits on Yorktown, nothing serious. Let's go ahead and retreat. It is about 6:20 p.m. June 9th, and it's been about an hour since we had, or maybe more, since we had any encounters with Japanese aircraft. I think they're all done. We're going to go ahead and make our run to Rabaul, X-Ray, and Zebra. Let's get them over there. It's going to take about 6 hours, so they will arrive right after midnight, which is perfect. All right, they've arrived. It is 12:38 a.m., and let's see what we got here. Let's unload everything. I'm really curious to see how this is going to look. Unload all cargo. Let's see, supplies, just make sure. I think these are all supplies and troops. Yep. All right, so we got all of the troops and supplies out of Task Force Zebra. Let's go to Task Force X-Ray now. Unload all cargo, make sure it's all out. Just double check everything. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at Rabaul. See how it looks. Oh, it's about half and half. It's about 50%. Looks like the Japanese have maybe about 8,000 to 9,000 troops here, about the same amount of supplies. If anything, it may be slightly in their favor. We need more supplies. So let's, we're going to go ahead and stay here. I was going to land and then see how it looked and then maybe leave if it didn't look so good, but this looks fine. But we are at a disadvantage because they have a level 5 port here and airfield, so we need to bring more troops and supplies as quickly as possible. Let's get Zebra. Let's bring them back to Shortland or Guadalcanal. Let's just get them out of the area so we can go get more troops and supplies. We do have, let's see, I did send, where are they? Right here. Victor is on its way with more supplies and a little bit of troops. And I think we have troops at, well, maybe we don't. No, we don't. We're probably going to need more troops as well. We can get some from Santa Cruz, maybe. Tarawa has plenty of troops, but I don't have any troops ships up there, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I forgot about Shortland. Shortland actually does have more troops and supplies. We will likely remove almost everything from Shortland Island and bring it over to Rabaul. That's probably what we're going to do. It is 4:46 in the morning, and likely we're going to face more enemy air raids as soon as it's 5 a.m. But that is a battle for another episode. That's going to be it for this one. And what an interesting one this was. We got our first gun battle of the campaign, and now we got troops on Rabaul, a large Japanese stronghold, and it's looking 50-50. We'll see what we can do about that in the next one. Thanks for joining me on this one, and I will see you again next time.